All right, and we're live. This hour has 56 minutes, and this is our ep- episode. Sorry, episode 5. Leftist accelerate. There's a lot to go over. A lot of escalation in such a short amount of time. So close to the midterms, you wouldn't think they would risk being so violent so close to the midterms. But this is going to totally work in our favor. What do you think, Dan?
Absolutely. I mean, let them be as violent as they possibly can be, right? Because this is only going to benefit us, right? This is only gonna put the crowd against them, right? The crowd is gonna look at them as the violent thugs, and as us being the people that are on the fence, right? And historically, people that when you look at when you look at things like Kent State, for example, Kent State was that prime example, right, of like the students, the college students, even though they were communists, that they were like the young, protesters, and that the police were using force against them and things like that. So, I mean, when Antifa is using force and using the law and has everything on their side and is against us, it's going to benefit us at the end of the day. What do you think?
Uh, Totally. It's going to be It's going to benefit us if the GOP uses it to their advantage. Put it in like political ads to show. You don't even have to put it behind music or anything. To show political ads of clips of these events in Providence, Rhode Island, Portland, Oregon. All you need to do is show the people. They'll automatically they'll vote Republican. Well, we'll get the Republican voters out, and they'll probably keep the Democrat voters from staying at home and not voting.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that's what we need, right? We need them to stay home as much as possible, right? I mean, even I think that this might turn some leftists, unless you're like really Antifa leftists, like it might have some of them that are kind of like in the middle, sympathize with us, right? In a sense.
Oh, totally. You'll not the crazy leftist Antifa types, but like your normal average liberal. If they see this type of violence and they see who's starting the violence, it would be a lot more sympathetic to us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, their whole idea is like for the oppressed, the poor, down and out, right? The underdog in a sense, right? I mean, we're technically the underdogs in this fight, right? So if anything, that might make them sympathize with us and see us as like the underdogs, and I think that will get some people from on their side. And the more that they're leftist politicians that they become crazier, just like that ape Maxine Waters, the better it is going to be for us. We need more of Maxine Waters. We need more of what's that other lady? The one that's 1%, like 0.01% Indian or whatever it was that came
Oh,
out of her.
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, she did a DNA test recently. It's a margin of error. It's probably 0%, more than likely 0% Native American.
Is that what it was? What was her actual number that she came up with? Do you know?
I think it was literally 0.01% or 0.1% or something like that. Very less than 1%.
And this lady has been champing around her like Indian heritage, like all over the place. Oh my God. How much more ridiculous is this going to make her look? Like, I mean, God, or that group of people, right?
Yeah. Well, I hate to be a downer, but not all of it's going to be in our favor. The fight that broke out in New York City with the Proud Boys and Antifa, and essentially Gavin McInnes and the Proud Boys were going to make some type of speech at this Republican event. I think it was like a fundraiser event. They ended up, oh geez, wrong article, but they ended up getting 9 people of the Proud Boys being charged. 9
Nine
people.
guys.
None of the Antifa people are being charged. And can you believe that?
Well, yeah, I mean that could be expected, right? I mean the state shields these people, right? They shield them in every aspect possible, right? This is all George Soros money, all this stuff, this whole situation where it stems from like huge piles of money from crony capitalists and the state's inner workings with them, right? So I mean, there's no doubt that there's going to be if they even get, let's say, even if they get arrested, they would be out in like no time, and they would get like a slap in the wrist.
Yeah, I just want to go over this article real quick. The the NYPD said Monday that it believes it can bring charges against 9 members of the right-wing Proud Boys group involved in last week's violent clashes in Manhattan. We have 9 individuals that we feel confident we can sustain charges of riot or attempted assault. A conspiracy to commit to start a riot. Believe that's a felony in New York City. That's pretty serious charges that they're bringing about on them.
Yeah, Jesus
Uh,
Christ. Yeah, these people. This is what I like about the. I mean, not is this is not a good situation, but the Proud Boys is a pretty somewhat mainstream in the conservative, like the cut conservative, right?
yeah, this is well. Hopefully, Gavin McInnes does have some pull. He works with CRTV, which is a Mark Levin channel. He's of a certain tribe. Maybe he's has some pull with them. Who knows? But 9 people from his own group are going to get. Some of them are probably going to get felonies.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's definitely.
and reach jail time, and I mean, if I mean, and this is in New York City, right? I would assume.
Yep.
Yeah.
And dude, me and you know it's pretty obvious. New York City not friendly to Republicans or right wing people of any kind.
Exactly. So I expect something similar of Charlottesville, which is going to be the full force of the law, like on them, right? Like every aspect. Like I mean, whoever's going to be the district attorney is probably going to just completely try to destroy these people in every way imaginable. So this is what I think we could expect. And, this is the dangers of even when these people attack us, that even when we attack back, we might be the ones that are liable for the whole situation.
Yeah, I'm just going to predict it right now. Eventually, Gavin McInnes isn't going to rely on any friends he has. He's going to be the one charged. He's going to be charged with something.
Oh, I can imagine the actual like headlines coming up, like Gavin McInnes's group, beats up Antifa. Gavin McInnes should be responsible, should apologize, and he probably will. He probably will because he's just that fucking guy, you know.
Yeah. So let's look at some more violent acts that Antifa has been up to lately. This one's been coast to coast. Amazing. Coast to coast in such a short amount of time. So they vandalized this office right here in Nebraska.
Why does that fucking that glass that's blown out look like a Pikachu for some reason? I
Yeah, it
don't
looks like
know.
a Pikachu. So yeah, they
I
might have
don't know.
like drawn it on there and then like broke the glass so it looks like that.
Is this their plan? To just set off bombs that look like fucking Pikachu? Is this how fucking faggoty these people are?
Yeah, they threw a brick through the window and scrawled the words "abolish ICE" on the sidewalk below it, which is like the average Democrat doesn't support that. So good luck.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, when you talk to most people, they're not for this type of You ask most people about it, and most people agree with mostly a right wing view of it.
amid calls for in-your-face incivility from leading Democrats, multiple Republican offices have been vandalized across the country ahead of the midterm elections. In New York City last night, the GOP headquarters at the Metropolitan Republican Club on the Upper East Side of Manhattan was vandalized with broken windows, a spray painted anarchy sign, and a threatening message that the attack is merely a beginning, the Daily Caller reported. And I believe there's an attack in Austin where it was telling people to boycott the bourgeoisie elections. Now, that's a message I'm hoping voters are going to take. Well, Democrat voters are going to take.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's a win for us, if anything.
yeah, it's calling for a boycott against the election and for a revolution right now. Well, a violent revolution right now.
Oh, I've been
And
calling for that too. I want that too because it would be so easy for us. I mean, if If that were the case, we would just wipe the floor with them so quickly. That would just be, I would want that, to be honest with you. You know, I know it's something that people don't. It's something that I think is necessary.
Yeah, the Republican office was also vandalized in Mesa, Arizona overnight. Vandals shattered a window that was displaying a poster for Arizona Republican Governor Doug Ducey, who is running against Democrat David Garcia in the November 6th midterm election. So just threw a brick through there. I know one of them was actually firebombed. I don't think that was in Arizona. Oh, you got a black guy cleaning up afterwards.
It's
That's
like, God
something.
damn it, these motherfuckers.
The Flagstaff GOP office was also vandalized. Looks like they just threw a brick. F Trump Flagstaff GOP office vandalized. Yeah, I guess that was it. This is the one in Wyoming. Last month, the Republican office in Laramie, Wyoming was firebombed just 2 days after it opened. That is serious. Firebombing.
Yeah, and you don't hear about it anywhere, anywhere in the
Yeah.
national news, right?
Yeah, well, it's a really small city. Not even a city, a town. But even still, I mean, if a GOP office gets firebombed, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Uh,
No, I don't want to give money to you.
GOP
Wow.
office set on fire less than 2 days after opening. Police says it was intentional. Of course, it was intentional.
What the hell? You throw bombs at an office and not be intentional.
Police say it's great work, police officers. You know, you guys figured out that it was intentional. How ridiculous.
Damn.
Well, it reminds me of kind of like what was this guy that got shot in the softball game, I believe it was, Steve Scalise, right?
Yeah. Well,
It,
the guy didn't know how to aim, so I guess that was good for him.
yeah, that was actually very good for him. But yeah, so it reminds me of like the escalation of violence that they're doing, right? That they're escalating the violence, and it's due to the fact that they just keep the normies and the NPCs. They just keep watching, Rachel Maddow, and Rachel Maddow's telling them to hate Trump, hate the Republican Party, and eventually this creates these individuals that just go batshit crazy, and these NPCs, their circuit wires fucking explode, and they just fucking do things like this.
In early July, the Nebraska GOP headquarters in Lincoln was vandalized by open border activists. Well, just the sheer amount of all these GOP headquarters being attacked, one even getting firebombed, and I'm just hearing about this today. I don't watch the news all the time, but I do watch it like fairly frequently. I'd never heard of any of this happening. Just well, I'm at a loss for words.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
man. And this is only, like I said, it's only going to keep escalating. It's going to get worse. It's going to be until the media, people kind of revolt against it. But this is only going to continue, and it's. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I mean, what was it? Ted Cruz was trying to eat somewhere, and he gets hassled by people. What is it that what's Sarah Sanders happens to her too? You know, this is exactly the type of current political climate that we're in at the moment. Like, I mean, when you compare today's political climate to what was like probably 10, 15 years ago, none of this stuff was happening. None of this stuff. Even if the GOP was seen as like the worst by the left, they painted them the same picture. But this type of stuff didn't happen at all.
yeah, that's true. Even the when George Bush was president, he also had this type of what did he call it? Trump. You know what I'm talking about? Trump hysteria. Trump. What do you call that illness that people have?
I guess you could say just because I don't know, Trump derangement. Is that what you mean?
Derangement. There we go. Yeah, they had the George Bush derangement syndrome too. but I don't remember anybody going like this far. Like this one's kind of different. The
Oh yeah,
Republican headquarters in Illinois was vandalized with the words "rape" and "shamed." They just spray painted that all over the headquarters because they were protesting the Supreme Court nominee, Kavanaugh. That was, and I guess people. I don't know why anybody think he's going to legalize rape or something. He's going to
well
legalize
again,
rape, legalize sex slavery. It's crazy what you would read on Twitter.
yeah, no, absolutely, and it's this is exactly what you get when you get like this huge cabal of liberal media and this huge cabal of like liberal social media too, right? I mean, they're blocking all of our content, right? So that leaves only one type of content out there, right? The type of you know Trump derangement stuff that they're pushing all over. It's everywhere. I mean, even when you go to like a place like a doctor's office, right? What do you usually see? You'll usually see like CNN on or something, right?
Well, when you go to the airport, it's all CNN. That's for sure.
Exactly. You see CNN, NBC, all this crap, right? And people actually watch this stuff unless you're kind of like fucking like us, which is very rare. It's not something that's very common. This is what you get.
It's funny though. I'm not sure if it's in every Burger King, but pretty much every Burger King I've been to around here has Fox News on their TV. When it's normally like when you go to a diner, when you go to any other fast food restaurants, it's MSNBC or CNN. But when I went to Burger King around here, it says Fox News. I'm not sure if it's every Burger King, but I, that's what I noticed.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny because I think from because the headquarters of Burger King is down here, and I believe a Brazilian company bought them. So maybe some type of Bolsonaro type stuff. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe Bolsonaro's nationalizing Burger King.
So I had a looking through, just skimming through these stories. Only one guy they got is arrested, and I'm not sure if the charges are going to stick.
Of course they're not.
But we'll
Of course
see.
they're not.
Yeah, of course they're not.
Look at
But
this fucking reject. Look at this fucking guy. This fucking faggoty haircut. Looks like a fucking retard.
this is what you do at 42 years old: is you spray paint rape and shame on a headquarters building.
Rape and shame. That's exactly what 42-year-olds should be doing, right? Like, what a fucking cuck.
Well, I mean, we'll see. He might actually end up getting raped in prison.
Hopefully, I
Which would
hope
be
it,
the irony.
he understands what black oppression is when they fucking stick their fucking dicks in his ass.
Oh, all right. So they interviewed a person. Eyewitness News interviewed Dan, who lives right across the street from the office before he was arrested. How does it feel to have this happening right across the street from where you live? The reporter asked. I think it's great, Dan replied. I haven't been great having the Republicans right in my neighborhood, but they're labeled. Somebody labeled them for what they are. I'm happy about it, he added. Do you think they got their message across, whatever they were? The reporter asked. I think they did, Dan answered, smiling. What do you think their message was behind this? The reporter pressed. That Republican equals rape, Dan answered. That they support rape. They encourage rape. And if you rape someone, they will defend you, he answered. People literally believe this.
I cannot believe this is such bullshit to me.
This reminds me of the what the hell happened? This reminds me when Bruce wrote an article, obviously a satirical article. He even mentioned it at the beginning about legalizing rape in order to stop rapes, and everybody calls him a pro-rape activist. Whenever somebody writes an article about him in the news, it always starts out pro-rape activist Bruce V.
Oh God, that fucking they even banned his fucking book. Poor guy.
I'm still gonna get his book because I really want to read it. He said it's the last book he's ever gonna write, so which makes me want to read it even more.
I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'm sure it's gonna be really good. Well, he said he wanted to do one for women too, one like a guide for women,
Yeah,
which I think would be very good. But I don't know how many women would buy that because you know how women kind of not they he see something on the news such as that he is a rapist and then they will stay away from that.
yeah. Who's gonna write a guide on for women on how to find the perfect husband?
You would think
Him.
women it's better than the bullshit that like every other fucking woman book fucking puts out there. It's all fucking garbage.
Oh, many times, and I think they're putting those books out there just to fuck women over because they're not even offering advice. If you read the books, just do the opposite of what they say, you'll probably be better off.
That's what it should be. It should be a guide to do whatever the fuck the opposite is. Right? Like
Yeah,
the option of like you said, like eat, pray, love. Like that fucking horse shit, that go find yourself a young man in fucking another country and you'll be, divorce your man that you have now. And not have kids, of course. That's the big one.
yep.
Go ahead. I know we got out of off the topic, but go
All
ahead.
right, continuing on. He told the reporter that he hoped whoever has to clean it up gets a lot of overtime. He threw in a dig at the police, saying that he was glad to see him at the GOP office because it meant they weren't doing other things that we might not like them to do. So I'm happy, he said with a laugh. So that's the guy
Yeah, with a pink
that he
shirt,
was
of
found guilty.
course.
Yeah, I don't know what it says. I would something.
I bet he's one of those faggots that wears one of those pink fucking faggot hats and goes to those fucking rallies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the pink pussy hats.
I bet he's one of those fucking faggots. God, this guy looks such a like. This guy is probably one of those guys that eats fucking that drinks Soylent. You know what I mean? And it fucking has a Nintendo. What is that fucking video game system?
A Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, and not
Yeah.
even the good fucking video game system.
No, the Nintendo. I grew up with a Nintendo because my parents were cheap, and Nintendo was like the cheapest game system out there.
Uh-huh.
The problem with Nintendo. All right, we're going to get real gamer hours here.
All right, go ahead.
The problem with Nintendo is Nintendo only has like Nintendo branded games. So Mario, Zelda, um, all of those games are owned by Nintendo. They don't have third parties that are making their video games. From time to time, they'll allow like third parties to make their video games and allow them on their platform. But that's why Xbox and PlayStation is so much better because it's not Sony making the games. They let other people make their games, but
Yes.
Nintendo wants to have the license on everything. That's why they
Yeah,
suck.
and but it gives you like kind of like a reason because I'm not gonna lie, Zelda's a fucking badass game. Like it's fucking amazing. Like that game's fucking awesome, and I don't care who talks shit about it. That's a fucking great game. They also have like Metroid. Metroid's pretty good, but like you said. But also I've seen something like recent, like in the last couple of years, it feels like it's more tailored to like kids now, right? Like that was like kind of like before the Switch. What was it, the Wii U? That felt like it was more tailored to children, right?
Yeah, well, Nintendo was always geared towards children. I thought the games.
Well, I don't know
So,
because
but
I don't know because like when I was younger, I don't know when I had like a Nintendo 64, for example, like they had some pretty fucking badass games like GoldenEye or GoldenEye being the prime example, right? And they had like a Turok and things like that, and now it's like, man, I don't feel like it's anything like
yeah,
that.
but they also have Animal Crossing, Cooking Mama, Pokemon. They have a lot more games that are geared towards, well, some of them are geared towards women, quite frankly, and for children. I personally, the only reason why you should own a Switch is if you're playing Zelda. Other than that, get yourself an Xbox or a PlayStation 4.
That's exactly my fucking thinking. Exactly my thinking. Get yourself a fucking man system.
Or if you're playing, I mean, it has a lot more party games that, like, if you're gonna have a bunch of people at your house, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers. It has games that you can play with other people, but how many people are having friends over and playing video games with?
Yeah, most people nowadays don't even fucking talk to other people, right? They're on their fucking phones, so they're not even playing games together. If anything, they're gonna play games online.
Yeah, that's mainly what's happening. They're just going online, Xbox Live or whatever the PlayStation version of it is.
Yeah, true, true. We just completely got off topic, but go ahead, keep going with the article.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. We have the next story. Next story is about Proud Boys. Proud Boys. Bear spray, bloody brawls, and Patriot Prayer Law and Order march in Portland. And I really like that they did this. These aren't like the, the gay Blue Lives Matter type of protest. It was literally protesting the cops. Because the last time they went to Portland, the cops just stand down and let Antifa go after them. So they pretty much had to defend themselves. And when they were defending themselves, the cops didn't go after Antifa. The cops put some of the Patriot Prayer people in handcuffs. So they're back in here and they're protesting the mayor because the stand down order, well, pretty much all the orders that the police follow are from the mayor. So they're doing the right thing by going to the people, person that's responsible. And I really like this guy right here.
I don't know who he is, but he's a good man.
I hunt Antifa cowards. Nice orange shirt. Great optics, by the way. An American flag in the background.
Like how fucking like manly does that look, right? Like fucking American flag. I hunt faggots. That's pretty much what he's saying. You know, like that is like the ultimate fucking based fucking guy.
Yeah, and he's in shape too. He looks like he lifts weight. Eats
Yeah,
pretty healthy.
and he has a fucking cigarette. Like it just all together, just like great fucking optics.
All right. Patriot Prayer leader Joey Gibson and members of his right wing group have a flash march in downtown Portland on Saturday, October 13th, 2018, to protest Portland's police's hands off approach to a demonstration last week. So at least somebody's finally doing something about the police and their hands off approach. This is Tiny. He's a Samoan guy. He's the second hand man to Joey Gibson. He's like the bodyguard. He doesn't really do a lot of speeches. He does a lot of fighting.
That's the most
This is
important part, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have guys like him defending the speakers, speakers and Patriot Prayer. Then there's no point of having the protest to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah, and his based cowboy hat. That's the
He's pretty big.
cowboy
Jesus,
boots.
he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah, he's pretty big. He's about I think the last time he said he's like 300 pounds.
Yeah, those Samoan guys, they're pretty big. They're the big guys.
Yeah, and I like this. He's not even he's from California. How many cowboys are there in California? I guess it makes him look cool either way.
Has to be from the northern part, huh?
Yeah, I think he's from Berkeley. He's from like the nearest city from Berkeley. I
Oh,
don't know California that well, but yeah, I think there's Northern California maybe. So there's Antifa dressed in all
waiting there
black.
across the street, of course, with their fucking look at that lady with her dildo in the back of her fucking gonna smack people with it.
That's a steel pipe that she's going to use to beat them with.
Oh yeah. You know, did you ever see that video? I'm sure you have. Everybody saw it. The one of the what is it, Moldilocks? The one that she just tries to punch this guy in the face, and then this dude just fucking rocks her right in the fucking face.
Already, the one video where this guy had a steel pipe and he's beat. I think that was in Portland.
That's the Proud Boys, I believe. That was a Proud Boys guy.
Yeah, that was a Proud Boys. Yeah, the guy punches him and he dies from one punch.
Yeah, the guy, man. I'm gonna tell you that guy that punched him looked like he was jacked as shit, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah, he was. I wouldn't if I saw him. I would like not even try to mess with him.
I was like, God, man. And you know, there was actually a video, and it even showed that I had saw, and that it was basically demonstrating as like, you know what? Even if you have fucking weapons, it's the man that matters. This guy had a fucking like a baton and was hitting this guy, and fucking got knocked out cold.
Yeah, the guy had I guess it was baton. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it was a steel pipe, but yeah, he knocked him out cold. He actually ended up killing him, I heard.
Ooh,
Yeah,
damn. Well,
that was something.
that's a
He
good
didn't
thing.
get any charges though, self defense. So
Well, that's on camera, and that's fucking clear as daylight, right?
yeah, he was getting hit with a steel pipe. What do you expect? He grabbed the weapon from him, didn't even use it on him, just punched him.
Man, I've seen things like that. You usually see that like in MMA fights, right? But that looked like some Street Fighter shit. Like it just looked like some fucking. He went backwards and he just fucking ripped them, and it was just so. It's just.
Oh, he
It,
put his whole body behind that punch.
have you ever seen a Mortal Kombat when that little fucking thing pops up and he goes toasty?
Yeah.
That is exactly what I was thinking when I saw that.
So here's Brad Boys, and here's some. Yeah, and he's Brad Boys uniform. Patriot Prayer. These guys are always when they have a protest, they're always together. So I guess they coordinate all the time. There you go, marching down, just down the street. Make sure they wear bicycle helmets.
Wasn't Baked Alaska once? Didn't they like pour like throw acid at him or something? I don't know if it was Baked Alaska. It was someone.
Oh yeah, it was Unite the Right one. I was watching Brittany Venti stream when she went there,
She went to
and
the. I didn't even know she went.
yeah, I'm sure probably could find it on the YouTube channel. She went to the Torch March, and she went to the rally the next day. She went with her boyfriend actually,
Really though, the ex boyfriend or
her ex boyfriend. Which her yeah, I guess it's her ex boyfriend now.
yeah, definitely for sure now.
And Baked Alaska was marching with them when he got pepper sprayed, but it turns out it wasn't pepper spray. It was some type of acid compound. Permanently ruined his eyesight, so he has to wear sunglasses inside.
Well,
Yeah, that,
yeah, Baked Alaska. I mean, as much as not many people like him anymore. That sounds like a pretty horrible thing to happen.
oh, I really wouldn't wish that on anybody. I mean, even if I don't like the guy that much.
Oh yeah, especially what he did to Camwell. That was just him and that other fucking, and I'll say it, that other faggot, Prince Hubris. God, I fucking hate that faggot.
Yeah, I don't know why he set up that debate on optics with like a black guy on the stream. That he needed to get Samara back on for a producer or somebody for a producer to make better shows. But I guess he's in a dustbin of history now. I don't think he has his channel anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. The last that I heard him was a song called "Trump is My President," and it's like the worst song I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, it was auto tuned the whole time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so terrible. I mean, I would just like to watch it just to see how terrible it is.
That's the a problem with modern music. They pick people for their looks, not for their singing abilities, and they just use a computer to make up the fact that they can't sing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, when you hear these people live, for example, it's completely fucking different than when it is actually. And if that is if they actually decide to do live, like a live performance.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of I know we're digressing a little bit, but that's why a lot of these shows, like a Lana Del Rey concert I went to with my sister not too long ago, well, it's not really focusing on the singing. It's focusing on like a huge spectacular type of performance where she's doing riding the moon, doing just it feels like a play, you know, with music in the background. That
Yeah,
with her singing, like a musical, because
it's
they
not.
do sound different live, so
Yeah,
they had to make up for that.
it's not even about that anymore. It's not about music. It's not even about the creativity anymore, right? Like it's all about fucking like most like three verses, some degenerate poor middle passage, I guess you could say, and then just more verse, three more verses. It's like ridiculous. It's modern music is just as terrible as or might be even more terrible than the degenerate movies.
Oh, okay, so We digressed far enough. Continue on with this article.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's the base black guy with the Trump hat, nice suit. This guy actually in Portland, the last time they were here, somebody had their flag stolen. This guy literally went running out, punched the Antifa guy in the face, and grabbed the flag back. Yeah, that was really nice to see.
That's a real base black guy, right?
Yeah, that is the real base black guy who would go out and grab your flag, American flag, back from communists.
Unless Kanye does something like that, I can't consider him a base black guy.
A demonstration billed as a march for law and order in the streets of Portland descended into chaos as rival political factions broke into ruddy brawls downtown Saturday night. Members of the right wing group Patriot Prayer and the black clad adversaries known as Antifa used bear spray, bare fist, and batons to thrash each other outside Kelly's Olympian, a popular bar on Southwest Washington Street. The melee, which lasted more than a minute, ended when riot cops rushed in and fired pepper balls at the street fighters. The Portland police reported seeing protest and counter protest participants outfitted with hard knuckle gloves, knives, and firearms earlier in the evening. Firearms, damn, that's something because I know the firearm laws in Portland, especially with it being on the West Coast, it's probably not. You can't open carry. I don't think so. So I'm surprised nobody got arrested for that.
Hmm.
Police said they made no arrests Saturday night, but will continue to investigate. The wild scene unfolded amid mounting tensions among both groups, fueled in part by a pair of national news stories.
By the way, if it says there, police said that they made no arrests Saturday nights, but will continue to investigate, that means that they're not going to investigate. That it is just stopped there.
Yeah, that's too much work, right?
I mean, with the great work that they did in the what was it, the last story that we had with the bombings. What is it that it was said in that article? I'm sorry.
Oh, they said it was intentional. Yeah, that somebody firebombed it intentionally.
Yeah,
not by accident.
Our cops are doing great work out there.
Yeah. Sometimes you accidentally throw Molotov cocktails into buildings, but it happens.
Yeah, shit happens.
A march in Portland against police brutality last week drew headlines after law enforcement's hands-off approach to the event was blamed for an encounter between protesters and an elderly driver. Oh, you know about this, right? The Antifa blocked the streets, and Portland said that white people can't go down this street; they had to turn down another street. And the mayor didn't told the police to stand down, and even said he supported the Antifa protesters.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
God, this is Soviet type style stuff here.
Which outraged many, including Patriot Prayer leader Joey Gibson and his supporters. Look, keep in mind, Portland, Oregon is like 90% white city, so telling white people not to go down that street, telling 90% of the city not to go down that street. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were pissed off going to work in the morning.
Can you imagine, how the whole bus thing was with African Americans back in civil rights time? Imagine like the same thing with the bus, like there, like there'd be like one black guy in the front seat, right?
Yeah. On Friday, viral video surfaced showing members of the Proud Boys, a right-wing fraternal organization, beating 2 or 3 protesters in New York City after an event at the Republican Party headquarters. And this is actually would be good evidence to show for the trial. What's that guy? Alex Fields is his name. They were actually attacking the police cars. I mean, not the police cars. The cars that were trying to go down the street, hitting them with hitting the windows with bats, standing in front of the cars to make sure they don't go down the street. So they do have a history of like attacking cars that don't do what they want them to do. They don't support their cause. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean they even have the blocking traffic too, right? They block traffic in highways when that whole Black Lives Matter thing was going on. When it was bigger, they would go and they would block many intersections, and there was actually one of a woman that got actually run over because of it.
I think one of the people got hit. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, yeah, it was a woman. She got hit because they were blocking traffic, and hey, that's what happens, right?
It was against this backdrop that Gibson, who counts a number of Proud Boys among his ranks, organized the so-called Flash March for Law and Order and PDX. Ostensibly, the protest Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler and his oversight of the city's police force. Waving American flags and breaking into patriotic chants, Gibson and several dozen supporters set off to a street memorial for Patrick Kimmons, a 27-year-old black man who did do nothing, shot and killed by police, an incident that prompted last week's march. As they arrived at the vigil on Southwest 4th Avenue and Harvey Milk Street, oh, jeez,
Oh
every
God!
single
Oh
time.
Jesus! You know Harvey Milk is right.
He's the first gay rights activist, wasn't he? Or one of the
Yeah, I think
first?
he was the first gay mayor, I believe.
Uh, yeah. Well, these are people that are trailblazing people,
Yeah, for
trailblazing of
Harvey. I like
degeneracy.
how you have the coincidence detector on there.
And uh, don't browse without it. Everybody should get the coincidence detector for Google Chrome.
Yeah, well,
It
we
is free.
are we are we what is it? That's like our advertiser, right? That's like we are advertising for the coincidence detector. Please go ahead and please download it when you have
Yeah, it's coincidencedetector.com.
a chance.
They were met by a large group of counter demonstrators chanting Black Lives Matter. The two sides exchanged taunts and threats as police stood by and warned against physical confrontation. About 20 minutes later, the violence erupted a few blocks away among a smaller group of the participants. Below is a detailed timeline of the events from the evening. Oh, let's see if they have any confrontations here. Uh,
Oh, look, there goes our based hunter of Antifa. He's already in the front
it's
lines.
another black guy with the cross shirt.
Was that a Darth Vader helmet, or was that me? I don't know if that was.
Nothing's going on. I thought there was going to be some fighting.
The news doesn't even get the good stuff. Fucking people, man. They can't
Yeah.
even do their job right.
Oh, oh, damn. You got the police out in full force
Yeah,
to do
they're just
absolutely
driving by.
nothing.
They're driving by.
They got just in time to stand on the sidelines.
They're just like, oh, well, we see nothing here. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, this is the brawl. Got these Proud Boys. Oh,
Really?
they got Bear Mace. That's cool.
Is that the Proud Boys or is that the
They
Antifa?
got to be Proud Boys. Yeah, that's Proud Boys Patriot Prayer, I can tell. And that's the
Well,
guy.
you know that.
I need to find a video. This guy's like was in the corner, and they had him beating him up, and he's like, "All right, why did you sucker punch him? Why did you sucker punch him?" And then he just starts screaming, "Help! Help!"
What a pussy.
Seriously. And then the guys just let him go. It's like, oh, they were going to keep him there until it's like, just keep him there for the police. Keep him there for the police.
Oh,
He
God.
said, no, no, just go back to your friends. Go back to your friends.
God. This just shows like the type of people that are in Antifa, man. Like no courage, no like nothing. Like no bravery. Like like if you're getting your ass beat, get your ass beat. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Don't scream out for help and cry and all this shit.
That literally would happen. Like he sucker punched somebody who's going to run away. He didn't expect everybody else to come running after him.
Did you see that video by any chance of a guy? I think it was like some sort of religious thing that was going on. That some like little kid was gonna try to punch some religious guy, and then some guy grabs him right on time, like the punch that he threw. Did
Oh
you see that?
yeah, he blocks the punch. I think it's from it might be from Portland. Might be
Really?
from, yeah, it's a Patriot player group. I see the cops show up after like they already broke up the fight.
Yeah, and then they
They already
catch
broke
all
up the
the
fight on their
they catch the whole the media catches the whole incident. And they're probably gonna, if anything, charge the Proud Boy guys or the Patriot Prayer Group, right?
Yeah, but like all these videos are showing starting up in the middle of the fight. Like you don't show who's starting what.
Yeah, it's going to be like the way to try to find these people who are, on the right wing and try to persecute them. I think that this is just going to continue, man. I really do. And I think it's going to, with things like this, our based buddy there with the Antifa hunter, and any of these people they're just going to try to find every single one of them and try to persecute them.
Yeah, it's kind of similar when they have like this one of the unarmed black man gets shot by the police. They always start the video like after he was shot.
Oh, yeah.
They don't show what happened before then.
Are you talking about the
Um,
gentle giant, that gentle giant did
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong?
Like his friend took a video of the gentle giant after he was like shot and dead on the floor, and he just shot him. He was unarmed. He did nothing. Well, how do you know? You don't know what happened before then. You don't see the video before then.
Well, if you have a fucking like 300 pound, like 6 foot, like something foot man, that man is a weapon on his own.
Oh yeah, that is a weapon on its own.
So I don't buy that he's just like, this harmless fucking thing. Yeah, right, bullshit. Especially when you're that fucking size, you have to be more cautious when you're around police because you're seen as a threat already.
Oh yeah, the police already use more force than they would normally.
Exactly.
Oh, let's see. This is anti-vol pepper spraying. These are, I can tell it's gold and black. Yeah. These guys don't even fight though. Like the tactics they use, pepper spray. Like they taunt people to get close to them so they can pepper spray them. Or they have like bottles of urine. I don't know if they're keeping their own urine or if it's like some homeless man's urine and they throw it on people.
Maybe that's a new trendy thing with liberals. I don't know.
Throwing urine at people. Yeah, I guess.
Maybe they hold it in bottles. They preserve this type of stuff. They're fucking weird.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Oh, it's just like the same treats over and over again. Nothing new. What the hell?
This is when you know that journalism's terrible.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a minute by minute update, but they're literally just posting the same damn tweet over and over again from 8 to 6. I've seen this dozens of times.
Oh man, they just got lazy. They got lazy as fuck. This is
Yeah,
the state
these
of
people are
journalism.
incredibly lazy. Yeah, here we go. Got the baseball guy, Trump hat, MAGA hat. Give you post a nude video of disabled.
That's just updates. What the fuck is this?
All right, that's weird.
This is the state of America at this
Yeah,
moment,
that's
guys.
state of. Jeez.
Oh god. I actually threw in a promo there for Alejandro because that's actually the name of his podcast, The State of the Americas. My bad, Alejandro.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't expecting that. I was just going down. I guess some people want to see naked disabled men on Snapchat.
No, dude, what are you talking about, man? Of course, people want to see that. You'd be a bigot, if you didn't. You know what? You don't like naked disabled people? What's wrong with you?
All right, so going on to the last story.
Go ahead. Hopefully, we get a shocker like that as well. Oh, look at those parentheses.
Yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the next one to go on the Supreme Court. T- I don't know. I don't think she has 3 months. I'll give her 3 months tops, and Trump will have another replacement for her on the Supreme Court.
Not only that, but she just, I mean, my God, she just looks like so lost. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with her.
Well, I think something's definitely wrong with her. She's going against the program.
Yep.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Kaepernick protest. I think it's dumb and disrespectful.
Oof.
Yeah, that is
Oof.
completely different than what they're trying to push right now.
Oh, you know what? She might end up missing one day.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg never shied to weigh in on the controversies of the day, said she thinks it's really dumb for San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick and others to refuse to stand for the national anthem. But the 83-year-old justice said she wouldn't lock a person up for doing it. Well, that's not the point of the protest. Why people don't like the protest, right? They're not like, "Hey, I want to lock these people in jail for doing it."
Why would they even
It's
ask
the
her a question like that? What the fuck? What the hell? Hold on.
Yeah. Ginsburg made the comments to Yahoo's Katie Couric, another person of the fellow tribe, while promoting her book My Own Words. In this interview, Ginsburg steers clear from criticizing presidential candidate Donald Trump. Real quick, I got to figure out a way to add the echo effect on the microphone. So either, well, I can do it or you can figure out a way because I know people in heel turn do it, TDS. Well, pretty much every podcast I listen to, they have the echo effect, except for Cantwell.
Yeah, Cantwell, what's up with Cantwell? We gotta tell him, like, man, you need to get that echo effect. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
You're behind the times here, buddy.
Yeah. Ginsburg steers clear from criticizing presidential candidate Donald Trump. Well, presidential candidate? You mean Donald Trump? Well, this is no. This article. No, this. Uh, I see.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
it's from a couple years ago.
What the hell? 2000. No, what the hell? How the fuck is this so old?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because the protests weren't happening back then, were they? No. Oh well.
What the fuck? This is a.
Oh well. Continuing
Oh,
on. So,
go ahead.
calls the rhetoric from the election cycle distressing. She updates her health status, her thoughts on Hillary Clinton and Merrick Garland's nomination. I wonder who that is. Admits to an amazed Couric that she's never even seen the famous parody of her on Saturday Night Live. I'm sure because she probably doesn't even know how to operate a television. She's
Yeah,
in her
back in her
80s, right?
time,
Yeah.
back in her time, there was no such thing.
Yeah, you didn't even have remotes. You just got to turn up and you had that special dial,
Go
the two dials.
ahead, go ahead.
National anthem protest. Of Kaepernick and others, she says she thinks their actions are dumb and disrespectful. I would have the same answer if he asked me about the flag burning. I think it's a terrible thing to do, but I wouldn't lock up a person for doing it. I would point out how ridiculous it seems to me to do such an act. Kaepernick said Tuesday it was disappointing to hear a Supreme Court justice call a protest against injustices and oppression stupid, dumb. I was reading an article and referred to white critique of black protesters and how they try to delegitimize it by calling it dumb, idiotic, stupid. Things of that nature so they can sidestep the real issue. He told reporters Tuesday, according to the Mercury News, as I was reading that, I saw more and more truth how this has been approached by people in power and white people in power in particular. In 1984, before Ginsburg joined the court, the Supreme Court held that the conviction of a man named Gregory Lee Johnson for burning the flag was inconsistent with the First Amendment. Of the athletes, Ginsburg said, if they want to be stupid, there's no law that should be preventative. If they want to be arrogant, there's no law that prevents them from that. What I would do is strongly take issue with the point of view that they are expression when they do that. Well, I'm pretty sure she doesn't feel the same way about people walking around with a Nazi flag.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't defend her right to have a Nazi flag
Well,
walking down the street with it.
well, you know what? This thing with Ginsburg, I gotta say, like, she's finally got one thing right in her life, right? Like, I mean, if we look at it in retrospect, what has Colin Kaepernick done to the NFL, right? He's pretty much single-handedly destroying it himself.
Oh yeah, there was this article in the Daily Stormer about the. I stopped watching football a while ago, but you look at all these games. And there's empty seats everywhere. Like,
Nibble
and
ball.
yeah, they were having like these two announcers, and you see behind them is just a big speck of orange in the middle. Like it's probably like 10 people at the most sitting in those stands, and I'm
Well,
just
go ahead. I'm sorry.
and I'm just wondering how is the NFL going to stay in business and much longer? And then I remember that they get tons of subsidies and whatnot from the state. They're like one of the biggest welfare queens out there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's actually one of the things that keeps them up, right? And this is it still affects their pockets, right? Like it still hurts them in their pockets. And I mean, Colin Kaepernick is single-handedly. I mean, he not only did it do this to the NFL, but he's done it tonight too, right? Like everything that guy touches turns to shit. like everything. I mean, so there was this article, and I put it in the chat with us, and it's from the Miami New Times, right? So Miami being very largely Cuban, and this guy wore a fucking Castro shirt in one of his press conferences, and this is a Jewish publication because that's what usually every main publication down here is that the Miami Dolphins should sign Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, and especially with all the Cubans that fucking hate Castro and that he wore a shirt of Castro on TV. Yeah, that would be a fucking great fucking idea. What a great PR that would be for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I saw that he wore the Fidel Castro, and then the one shirt was what's that guy
Che Guevara, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Che Guevara. I don't know what happened to Kaepernick. He just really lost his mind one time. His girlfriend, he got he was dating a white girlfriend, and then he started this protest. He dumped a white girlfriend, got with a black Muslim woman,
With a Muslim
and
woman?
yeah, it was a black Muslim woman. They they didn't last long. I think it was only a couple of
I
months
wonder
before they did.
why. I wonder why.
Yeah, because he's only dating her for show, right? To show his blackness.
Right, exactly. Like right, like every black man's dream, right? Like that guy Michael, I think his name is Michael Jordan. They gave him shit because he was dating a white girl. The guy that was I think his name's Michael Jordan. I'm not sure. Michael B. Jordan, I think it is. The guy that played Apollo Creed's son in that Rocky like spinoff.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was dating a
He
white
was in
girl.
the Black Panther movie too, right?
Yes.
He was a
Yes.
bad guy.
And he was dating a white girl, and they were giving him shit for that. But that's like every black man's dream is to get like a really good looking white girl, right? That's like the dream. Because like when you look at it like in the streets, it's usually not really a really good good looking white girl. It's like usually like the
They didn't know we're
bottom of the
very
barrel.
overweight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the bottom of the barrel that you could scrape, and it's just like these overweight, like junkyard women that it's just like that they'd have no prospects of like getting a pretty decent white man.
Yeah, that's pretty much unfortunately, that is every black man's dream. Get
Exactly.
an attractive white woman.
And that was no
And
different for Colin Kaepernick, right? But in order to have this image, he has to go and get himself might as well go get himself a disabled woman, right? Like, might as well, right? Make it the most extreme.
yeah, it was just dark skinned black woman, black Muslim woman. Tommy Sotomayor was covering it, and he even saw that. Oh, he's only doing this to prove his blackness.
Yeah.
Nobody dumps a woman, his ex girlfriend, and get with that.
And I guarantee that his ex-girlfriend was really, really good looking. I haven't even seen her, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, she was, yeah, she was quite a looker, that's for sure.
Hold on, I gotta Google
And
this because I gotta take a look at that. What he was dealing with before and after. Kaepernick, ex girlfriend.
you know the truth about black men is, believe it or not, a majority of black men are incels. A lot of black men don't get women at all, and like the top percentile, if you will, of black men, like the drug dealers, the the criminals, they're not really loyal. They don't have monogamous relationships. A lot. They're all polygamous. So they'll have like this main girl, right, that they date. They'll
Hmm.
probably like use her to live in their housing if they have sex in the housing, or to live off of her.
Right.
And then they'll have like one or two side bitches, they call them, one, two, or three side bitches on the side.
And the regular
Yeah,
woman would know about them too,
yeah.
right?
The regular woman doesn't know about them, and yeah, it's very ends up with a lot of dysfunction because you probably have like a lot of incest that's going around. Nobody knows who their father is, and you have like such a small selection of men that are actually impregnating women.
Do you think that
So
this
yeah,
might
it's
be?
pretty obvious somebody's fucking their cousin, or maybe like their sister, not
Do you
even knowing about it.
do you think this might be why they're so fucking angry and why they fucking commit so much goddamn crime because they're not getting laid enough?
Yeah, well, that could be one theory. I mean, I don't really understand what it is with black women. I can't say all black women, but a huge percentage of black women, they really like a thuggish type of man when it comes to black men. But when it comes to white men, they're they lose all standards. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how fat the guy is. Doesn't matter what type of job the white guy has. They just jump at him.
Right. It seems like it's like a biological thing, right? Like I want to improve my future genes, and this is even the worst of the let's say white man is going to be better than the average black man, right?
Yeah, I gotta be biological because it doesn't seem logical to me. Because you got a white guy that's working at Walmart compared to let's say a guy who's like a regular worker at Walmart, compared to a black guy who's like the system manager at Burger King, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the black guy's, let's say the black guy's better in shape, and the white guy's kind of fatter. So if that white guy approaches her, the black woman goes straight for him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen that, but they usually don't end well, like those type of relationships, right? As they do, I believe they do better though than the other way around, right?
Yeah, white man, black woman does better than black man, white woman.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen that. I've seen
Uh,
that it is actually an improvement
and
in a sense.
and a lot of times though, it's not the woman. When you look at divorces, it's majority of women, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, white man, black woman, in majority of the time, it's the man that divorces the black woman. So
Jesus Christ, how much fucking shit do they? And you know, white men are pretty fucking tolerant, right?
yeah,
Like they have a pretty high level of tolerance. I mean, to live in a society like this, right, where we have like the maximum amount of tolerance for pretty much any fucking type of behavior, for them to fucking divorce black women, it must be fucking serious.
yeah. You even look at the dating. I would like to say, yeah, it's how things are right now. It's not fair to black women, not fair to Asian men, because we're kind of digressing, but we've finished all of our articles anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
So
hey,
if you look at
whatever.
the OK Cupid dating statistics by race, and they also had OK Cupid dating statistics by preference. So, like they had a rating, right, where men would rate women by attractiveness, and women would rate men by attractiveness. They took it down because it was so horrible. But the men, the way they are. rated women on attractiveness, it was like a bell curve.
Hmm.
And then we have like majority of the women above were in the average, a few were in the above like 9, 10, and a few were on the bottom. But when it came to women, it was like unbelievable. Majority of men they saw were unattractive. And I think it was just like 80. I'll see if I can find it. They took it off their blog. I think it was like the 75, 80% of men that they saw on that website was at a 5 and below.
Yeah, yeah.
85%.
Yeah, the top men got the top get the top vagina, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And especially when we have like our society the way it is, where women were in a sense like if we didn't have these like no fault divorces and things like that, men competed with each other in other areas and which heightened their sexual market value. But now since women have this security, it just goes straight for the attractive, like how attractive the man is. That's like the most important thing to women, right?
Yeah, well, true. When you go on a dating website, there's not really much that they're really looking at. I mean, how many women actually read the profiles? Not many. They're just
Right.
looking at your pictures.
True, true. Yeah, like things like Tinder and things like that. That type of like a hookup culture. Like, I mean, you're just looking at photos and you're deciding, oh, this guy seems like a good partner. This guy seems like a bad, and but 85% of the time, it seems like they're more bad partners, right? Look at this
Huh.
comment by Anton Massert. Women should be denied access to the internet. I fucking agree.
Totally. It's really destroyed them. I really destroyed your hypergamy
Absolutely,
because
it is destroyed them, and it starts from such a young age, right? Like when they become like pretty good, when they start becoming really attractive, like which is usually like 15, 16 around there, right?
yeah,
And then from there, it's just like a snowball effect of like the internet just it, it, it just gives it reinforces like that type of behavior for them, right?
yeah. It's hey, I think hold on, I found it. Well, I haven't found the web.
Oh,
It's not a on a website. It's on a video.
mhm.
So there's a chart. So yeah, this is what Arcade Cupid did. How men rate women. See how it's kind of like a bell curve. Like most women are in between the most attractive and least attractive.
Yeah.
Comes to women, like it's even worse. 0% are like a 10. Majority of
Wow.
men are like unattractive.
Yeah.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Fucking god damn. That
Yeah,
is
that's insane. That's why you should. It's called the Dick Show, by the way. It's yeah, it's not that great. It's nice to listen to if you like the Manosphere MGTOW stuff.
well, I don't know about
Start
the
listening.
MGTOW stuff. Like I was into that like for a little bit, but then I kind of realized, yeah, it's not gonna really lead to much, right? Like you want to have a family and things, right? Which is important.
Yeah, I guess everybody goes through the MGTOW stuff because you get that a dry spell where like I know when I broke up with my one girl, well, my girlfriend broke up with me, and that took me like freaking 8 months before I could find somebody. I was like watching these MGTOW videos, just blackpilling myself, and then it just makes it harder for you to find another girl if you're going down that route.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Once you hit that dry spell, it kind of like you kind of get a hit of reality, right? Like in a sense of how superficial the sense of women are, right?
Yeah. So I also wanted to point out race statistics. This is the most recent one, 2014. You check out black women. Black men only rate black women 1%, and that's the highest out of everybody. Oh, jeez, that's pretty bad.
When I was on those dating sites, because I was on them at one point, the only messages that I would receive were from like really, really overweight black women. Like those are like the bottom of the barrel. Like they would message you because like I guess they don't get much attention.
That's actually in this article. Black women actually, compared to all the other women, like they get. women normally receive messages on dating websites, right?
Yeah.
Black women are literally the only ones that actually send more messages out as a first encounter type of thing than any other women.
Yeah,
So they
for the
initiate more than anybody else.
yeah, there's no reason for other women to do so, right? Like, I mean, they're being pursued and they have like their inboxes are completely full, but these women, unfortunately, their inboxes are kind of shitty.
Yeah, and then ironically, if you look at black men rating white women, they rate them lower. I think that's mainly because the white women that they're having an interaction with are like on the bottom of the totem pole, like the really overweight ones.
Yeah,
Ones
I would
that,
think so. I would think so, right? Because I mean, from my experience in speak and dating world, like most women that I knew wouldn't date a black guy. Like it's just they wouldn't. They just knew that it was like it's not a good thing for them, right? Kind of like a biological thing that's just like kind of telling them no, you must stay away, you know?
eh.
Unless it's a rapper like a fucking like the top, you know, but beyond that, you know, there's not many in that category.
So I've also noticed something around here that Asian women rate Latino men down pretty low. Black and Latinos, it's really just Asian and white that they really like. And yeah, I was kind of surprised by that because I thought, there a lot of them live out in California, right? That's the majority
Yeah.
of them. So you'd think they would view them in a positive light, but apparently not.
Oh, apparently not. I mean, and I mean, because it depends, right? Like, I would think like a Filipino woman wouldn't really mind too much of a Latino man, right?
Yeah.
But like, if it comes to like, I don't know, something like Korean, maybe I definitely think because there's somewhat of a resemblance between Latino and some people could even consider them Latino, right? Like more than Asian, because some of them carry like last names that are pretty much uh, Hispanic.
So you also notice a similar pattern here with black women rating white men, and that's because it's the bottom of the barrel of white men. It's the fedora tippers. It's the ones that are really awkward, kind of what you would call incel.
Well, look at how they
But
rate Asians too. Look at that.
oh yeah, Asian men get bottom of the barrel, but like Asian women rate them higher than any other women rate their own men.
Ah,
This
yeah.
is something.
That's pretty interesting that Asian women rate Asian men as the highest, but yet every other woman in that category rates them as the lowest. Well, one of the lowest beyond black men, right?
Yeah, there's actually I'm not able to find it, but there was this one podcast I was listening to that they actually saw these people having racial preferences when it comes to dating and sexual gender preferences when it comes to dating, and they're thinking about having this dating app where they're setting people on blind dates with people of a different race or people of a different sexual orientation.
Oh God.
They get
Oh
they get
God. This
people
sounds
to
like it's
start
some.
open their mind to dating people.
Oh no.
Then
This sounds like
what their
rape is
preference
gonna
is.
happen. Rape is gonna happen in these fucking in that app.
Well,
It
not
might.
only that, but like I don't know what they're thinking about getting like a man to date another man is going to be successful or not.
Oh, even gender? It's even gender
Yeah, they're
too.
doing it for gender
Oh
too.
no. Oh God. Oh yeah, let's be open-minded. Let's put you like on a blind date with another guy. Oh Jesus Christ. Can you imagine that shit? Do statistics exist for Jewish dating sites like Daydate? I don't know, actually.
No, they're making an exception for that. They're happy with Jews dating only other Jews, but they're not happy with other people dating only their own kind.
Yeah, and
And
I would probably wonder if OkCupid is owned by probably some sort of hook nose type people. Would it? I think so, right?
yeah, I'm sorry, what was that? I was trying to pull up this other video and it popped up.
No, I want to
Had
know
my
if OkCupid is actually owned by that certain tribe.
I'm pretty sure Cupid Media is. They own most of the large dating websites.
Really? Oh, look at that! I
Yeah.
just found it on Reddit. Actually, yeah. Apparently, it says it. Yep, they're owned by it.
And it's mainly upset because people of color are having a tough time finding white men and white women to date because they don't want to date them and they prefer dating other white men and white women. They find it problematic and they're looking for solutions to solve
Yeah,
it.
they're trying to find. Yeah, and then that app just sounds like the worst idea ever, right? Like, imagine, all the cultural conflicts, and not just that, the gender conflicts. I mean, imagine like if you're going on a date when another guy's there, that's just going to be just a recipe for disaster, or a furry, whatever, or whatever type of
Oh
weirdo that
yeah,
they put in
for
there.
there's actually this video. Too bad I can't get the sound to play. I'll post it in here and I'll post it in the chat. It's literally just transgender person, male to female. How the majority of them are upset that women don't want to date her, well, him, because it's not an actual man.
Oh my god, I've seen
You
this
remember that?
person. I've seen this person. Yes, yes. But this person. Oh my. Well, this guy. This fucking. It's ridiculous. It's fucking. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's upset because he's on dating websites and in real life trying to get a girlfriend, and women don't want to date him because he's a woman, not a man, and how it's they're being transphobic, and how him living as a lesbian woman, you know, it's discriminatory. A lesbian woman, it's discriminatory between him. That would you not date somebody because they're the same gender as you? Well, that's just genderphobic,
Yeah,
transphobic,
you're just being gender
homophobic.
phobic, homophobic, xenophobic, whatever phobic. I don't know what other phobics they can make
So,
up.
but you won't date somebody just because of their genitalia, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
And
you have
that's the
problems,
next
obviously.
step.
This is gonna get interesting. I'll tell you what. I definitely think that if these type of things continue on, my God, there's just gonna be a revolt against all of this stuff. Like, there has to be classic leftist minds. It's not good enough to tolerate me. You must accept me, or you are a bad person. Yes, absolutely right. That's the type of mindset that they have, and that we have to accept whatever degeneracy bullshit that they're fucking throwing at us. I mean. Next, we're gonna have furry dating websites. I already predict it. You know, where the what is it? What's the ones with the ponies? The pony people.
Brony.
The brony and furry fucking dating websites. We're gonna have that soon. I'm sure that that's on its way. These fucking degenerate pieces of shit. So it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah, I think I mentioned when I went to this anime convention in Baltimore, like a month or a couple weeks ago. Before that convention, they had a brony convention, and then a furry and brony convention were like a few months apart from each other.
Oh Jesus!
And what's really weird about the furry convention is, hey, have you seen that Toss 2.0 episode?
Tosh, but yes, yes, I have seen.
Yeah, where this one guy's a furry and he's talking to him, and then he's talking about how when furries have sex with other furries, that you don't know if it's a female or not, and how like it's actually, if you get lucky, you can just imagine it's a female.
Oh yes,
'Cause
yes.
they had the fursuits on, you don't know if you're getting it with a woman or a man. So it's so incredibly degenerate.
I mean, can you imagine what happens in that? Because we haven't got. I'm sure Medicare is going to go to the next one. Is going to go to the what are they called? The pony people again? I'm sorry, bronies.
Bronies.
Yeah, that has to be the next group that just has to get gassed. I mean, not gassed. I shouldn't say that because it's against policy stuff here. But I think you all know. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah, what's really upsetting about these brony conventions is I don't know what's up with the dads or the mothers that allow the little girls to go to these conventions because My Little Pony is a little girl show, so of course they're gonna want to go to a convention with My Little Pony in it. But these bronies, a lot of times they end up like trying to molest these little girls at the
Yeah,
convention. They get caught all the time there.
I would think that that's like a pedophile area for pedophiles to just like thrive in, right? Because it is a little girl show, right? And why are grown men watching a little girl show? Like it's just fucking weird. It's just it is. It just I mean that weird. I would not allow my daughter to ever attend something like that without me being there. Not I don't even want no. I wouldn't even go to be just to stay away from these type of people and this type of behavior. It's abnormal. It's abnormal.
Oh yeah, it's very abnormal. And I remember I was watching this documentary on Netflix when I had Netflix, and this is going to be our last topic because we're gonna have to call it a night.
Go ahead, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary on Netflix, and the person who created the new My Little Pony was at the convention and stuff, and she was saying, "Well, if majority of people that watch My Little Pony are men, then this is just a redefinition of masculinity. Who's to say what masculinity really is? This is actually a masculine show. If the majority of the people that watch it are men."
Oh god. The state of man. Like I mean if like the Spartans could fast forward into like a couple hundred years or whatever, 1,000 years, and see that men are dressing up like ponies and furries, what would they fucking think? What the fuck would they think in their head? Like what the hell has to happen to man?
Well, that's a good note to leave the show on.
I agree. I agree. The Brodies and the furries.
Thank you guys for listening to our show. This hour has 56 minutes. Now, if you want to donate, don't donate to us. Please donate to Christopher Cantwell. He recently found a woman in his life. Hopefully, he's going to get married. And since he's going to has another person to support, he's going to need a little extra money. So why don't you go ahead and go to ChristopherCantwell.com/donate. Send some shekels this way.
Wait, a woman's pregnant?
No, the woman's not pregnant, but the woman's living with him. He hasn't went into details about it, which is good. In his previous shows, he mentioned that one woman from Canada got way too much information of what was going on in his personal life with her. So this time he didn't mention anything, hardly anything, just that he's dating somebody.
Isn't Ellie Reeve from Canada?
Oh, I don't think it's all Reeve.
No, yeah. I think she's from New York. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, he's just gonna need extra money because he has another person to support, and a man like him needs to get married and start having kids. He's
yeah,
almost in his 40s. He's up
I
there.
agree. Everybody out there as well that's listening, go out there and make some fucking kids. Go save fucking Western civilization, please.
You got any closing statements?
Fuck and have some kids and save Western civilization.
Well, yeah, because the elections and all this street action don't really mean much if there's no future generation to fight for. It's very
Exactly.
important.
Exactly. So go out there, make kids, find yourself a good wife, and care about things that actually matter, like children.
All right. Have a good night, guys. See you next time.
All right, guys.